10 Brutal Truths About Life After 60. They often say that living and growing old is a privilege that not everyone gets to experience. However, along with that comes some truths that not many are willing to admit. We tend to think of stepping into our 60s or even 70s as a journey full of meaning and happiness. While this is true, we cannot deny that it also brings its fair share of challenges. Today, I am here to share with you 10 harsh truths about life after 60. These are things that many people avoid talking about, but they are valuable lessons that I believe, if you are younger, you should listen to and reflect on. And remember, the last point I mention will be the most important, so don't miss it. Until the very end of this video, it's not just a reminder. It might change the way you perceive old age. Now, let's start exploring each truth one by one. 1. Regrets. After 60. The first truth that no one wants to talk about is that many people over 60 have regrets. It could be about things they never did in life, trips they never took, or dreams that never came true. At this age, we begin to reflect and realize there are things we haven't completed, unfinished plans, missed opportunities. Perhaps you wanted to travel to places you've never been, but now your health or time doesn't allow it. Or, simply, there are relationships that didn't fully blossom, apologies that were never said. There's nothing wrong with this, but it's a reality that many face. That's why I always encourage younger people to act now. Don't wait until it's too late. Do what you love now, because later you won't want to say, "I wish I had done that." 2. Caring less about what others think. The second truth you'll realize after turning 60 is that we no longer care as much about what others think. When we're younger, we often worry about how others perceive us, how to avoid being judged, how to fit societal standards. But after 60, all those things seem less important. Now I can walk around the city in my pajamas and not feel embarrassed at all. This doesn't mean I don't care about respect or self-esteem. It means I've learned to live authentically. You don't always have to pretend to please others. We've lived long enough to understand that this life is ours, and only we have the right to decide how we want to live. No need to change to meet the expectations of society or others around us. Do what makes you happy, what makes you comfortable, and most importantly, be yourself. 3. Health isn't what it used to be. After 60, your body no longer recovers as quickly as it once did. Pains and aches become more frequent, and your energy may not be as abundant as it used to be. You may start to feel more tired after a long day of work, or sometimes the steps that once came quickly now seem slower. This can be disappointing, but remember, it's a natural part of life. In reality, health is something you must cherish from a young age. While certain issues may be inevitable as you age, if you take care of yourself early on, you'll have a healthier body in your later years. Don't forget that a balanced diet, regular exercise, and maintaining an optimistic mindset are keys to sustaining long-term health. And most importantly, learn to love your body even if it's not as perfect as before. Change is unavoidable, but that doesn't mean you can't live happily and healthily every day. 4. Losing loved ones. Although no one wants to think about it, it's an unavoidable part of life. Close friends, family members, or people we've been attached to throughout our lives will one day leave us. You may face the pain of loss when your body and mind are no longer as youthful as they once were. Losing someone important is a shock that's never easy, and at times it may leave us feeling lonelier. But the truth is, this is a part of the life process. This teaches us a valuable lesson: to cherish every moment with family and friends. Don't wait until they're gone to realize their worth. Take time to say words of love, gratitude, and share with those around you. That's the only way to reduce regret later on. However, not everything is sadness. After each loss, we also learn to be stronger and live more fully. Life continues, and we can still create beautiful memories and new relationships to fill the space in our hearts. 5. Time passes faster than you think. When we're young, we often think there's plenty of time ahead, with so many things to do and passions to pursue. But when you're over 60, suddenly, you realize that time has passed so quickly, and the things you wanted to do in life don't seem to have as many opportunities anymore. You might be surprised when you look back, asking yourself, "Just yesterday I was young and full of energy. How did time slip away so fast?" And this is one of the reasons I always emphasize, don't hesitate. Don't wait until it feels too late. If there's something you want to do it now. If there's someone you want to meet, find a way to see them. Don't let time pass by and then regret not having done what you wanted. Age is not a reason to stop, it's motivation to live more positively. With each passing day, you gain another chance to create memories, renew yourself, and live the life you desire. Don't let time be your enemy. Make every moment count. 6. Financial worries. If you don't have a solid financial plan in place from an early age, you'll face issues like insufficient income after retirement, rising healthcare costs, or even not having enough money to maintain a comfortable life. These concerns can add pressure and make aging feel even heavier. So, how can you avoid this? The answer is, start planning your finances now. Don't wait until retirement to think about saving. Begin investing, set aside a portion of your income each month, and learn about insurance or pension funds. Having a solid financial plan will give you peace of mind in the years ahead. No one can predict the future, but if you've prepared in advance, you'll feel more confident facing life's changes. Remember, finances don't just help you live better. They also provide the freedom to live without worrying about things beyond your control. 7. Loneliness and changes in relationships. The feeling of loneliness can come unexpectedly and sometimes be a tough challenge to overcome. There may be days when you feel left behind, no longer as connected as before, but this doesn't mean you have to accept it. Changes in relationships are not the end. They are an opportunity to create new connections. Don't hesitate to join clubs, participate in community activities, or simply meet new people. The world is full of opportunities to find those who share your interests and perspectives. More importantly, maintain good relationships with your family and close friends. Spend time sharing, talking, and supporting one another. A life rich in emotional connections isn't about the quantity of friends or relatives, but the quality of those relationships. 8. The feeling of not being ready for everything. You may start to feel like you no longer have the energy to start a new job, or you may not want to try new things. You might notice yourself becoming more cautious, worrying about change, and sometimes feeling like you're no longer ready for big steps. But the truth is, this isn't always a bad thing. Caution and careful consideration when making decisions are a part of maturity. You don't need to do everything impulsively anymore, and that's how you protect yourself from unnecessary failures. However, don't let fear or anxiety hold you back. Sometimes you need to create new opportunities for yourself, even when you don't feel ready. Age doesn't mean you can't keep growing and changing. You can still try new things, as long as you adjust your goals to fit your health and energy levels. Never think that life is over just because you've entered a new stage of old age. 9. Changes in priorities and life values. When we're young, we often chase after big goals like career success, money, fame, or social connections. But once we pass 60, we begin to reflect and realize that these things are no longer our top priorities. Instead of focusing on work or personal achievements, you'll notice that you spend more time with family, friends, and the simple pleasures of life. Small trips, a family meal together, or even peaceful moments alone become more important than ever. Our values also shift. The small things we used to overlook when we were younger now become precious. You begin to understand that it's not always about seeking perfection, but about learning to accept yourself, live in harmony with what you have, and enjoy the present moment. With age, you may not have the same impulsive desires as before, but instead you find contentment in simple, meaningful things. This change is not a loss, but a form of growth, where you learn to live authentically and experience peace in life. 10. Facing death and cherishing life. No one wants to think about death, but when you pass 60, it's inevitable that you realize you're in the second half of your life. The awareness of time's finite nature becomes clearer than ever, but this doesn't mean fear or sadness. On the contrary, this awareness helps us appreciate life even more. We learn to love our loved ones, savor each moment, and do meaningful things with the time we have left. Death no longer haunts us, but serves as a reminder that life is precious. You begin to focus on what truly matters: relationships, experiences, and even yourself. It's when you find peace in your soul, accepting the natural cycle of life. Remember, 60 isn't the end. It's a new chapter, one where you have the chance to write your story in the fullest way. Life is a gift, and when you realize time is limited, you'll know how to make every second more meaningful than ever before. And that's all I wanted to share today. I hope that, no matter your age, you'll find something valuable in these truths. Life is short, but it's also incredibly beautiful if we know how to live each day fully. Thank you for listening, and I look forward to seeing you in the next videos.